Hi all of you awesome scuba divers out there, welcome to Scuba Diver Magazine, your favourite place for the latest scuba diving news and gear reviews. Today we're going to learn how to properly replace your inflator on your BCD. If you want to jump straight to the method, then by all means timestamps are going to be down here, but there are plenty of reasons to remove and replace your inflator. It can be anything from changing the length of the corrugated hose because you want it a little bit higher or a little bit lower, removing a blockage from inside of that hose, replacing the inflator for a different design if you want something a little bit different. Whatever it is, I'm going to quickly show you how to safely remove and replace your inflator. There's no magic to it. You may need a fair amount of space, and a clean work area does make your life a lot easier because there's one small pin that can disappear if you're not careful. If it drops, if you've got a cluttered workspace, you'll lose that. First of all, what are you going to need? A pair of side cutters or diagonal cutters, depending on what you call them. Just something to cut through some cable ties. A couple, or one or two cable ties. It kind of depends on the style of inflator. If you have two, then you're prepared. I don't think I've ever seen a 3-zip tire. A sharp knife as well is quite useful. This isn't perfect, but it gets the job done. If you've got like a single edge razor blade, used to use those at the dive center. It just makes for a cleaner, safer cut. And also a small pokey device can be quite useful. This is an Allen key, a hex wrench, and but just anything, a really small screwdriver. It's just something to poke that small pin that I was talking about earlier. Sometimes it's just easier if you have a poking device, but otherwise that's about all you specifically need. Otherwise it's just down to time and doing it methodically, because 9 times out of 10 you'll do it all and then you'll forget one thing. I'll mention that, so don't worry. It is worth bearing in mind that corrugated hoses and inflators do come in different sizes. I don't just mean like designs, but the caliber, or the bore size or the diameter of the inflator can be a little bit different. On the inside of that hose, there's a couple different sizes. It's not overly common, it's usually the larger side, but you can find them where they're a little bit smaller. So just do bear that in mind. It does vary, so of course you can't fit any inflator to any hose. Do some measuring and ask some questions before just buying replacement parts. If you're buying like for like, you should be okay. But yeah, I think aqualung BCDs tend to have one of the smallest ones. So if you're replacing an aqualung inflator, it's best to stick with what you have. But yeah, do measure and double check. So the method itself is pretty simple. The first thing is to just take a look at what you've got on your entire hose, and to remove the existing inflator, you'll probably have 2 zip ties, which are just on the bottom section of this corrugated hose. Take note of where this section, the head section is, because that's where you wanted to put the replacement ones. If you put it somewhere else, it can just be a little bit annoying. They're usually tucked away, and some corrugated hoses actually have a little recess. I'll see if I have one here that I can show on screen, or find some kind of picture to show you. But some actually have a molded recess just to make it a bit neater. So just double check where that is. Take your side cutters, and you want to be careful with this, because you don't want to damage that corrugated hose. That's quite soft plastic material, and you just want to get that either side of the head so you can lift it up, make sure it's nice and clear, and then just give it a little nip just to release that. Do that on both. Again, you want to be careful that you're not damaging the soft plastic or the soft rubber of that hose. Once you've taken off the cable ties, then just tease it off. You can give it a little bit of a twist as well, and you'll see just here a little pin. Sometimes it's a pin, sometimes like this one, it actually has a screw head on it. So a flathead screwdriver, sorry, I should have mentioned that earlier. A flathead screwdriver can pull that pin out. On most inflators, it is just a pin, just a metal bar. That can get lost very easily if you don't like hold on to it. But yeah, on pretty much every inflator, you'll notice they have this little retainer hole section so that you can fit one of those bars to use your pull dump. And on the inside of the hose, it usually retracts. You have either a stainless steel cable, or in this case a plastic cable, so with a loop at the end, and that's what the bar is just holding onto. So if you find that you come to your pull dump and it doesn't really open that valve, it might just be that that pin has just dislodged a little bit and that the cables come loose. So it's quite easy to replace yourself. Right, this is the point where a lot of people forget one very important part. And if your inflator has one of these, which is just a little protective shroud for your actual inflator nozzle, put that on the corrugated hose. Make sure it's facing the right direction, because once you get past this point, you don't want to undo all of the work that you've done putting it back together because you've forgotten that. That's very easy to forget because, yeah, you usually attach it onto the nozzle, and when that whole inflator comes off, you go, oh, okay, put that to one side, I'll fit that later. So if you forget that, you're gonna have to undo some work. So make sure that that's attached to the hose. This one in particular doesn't come with one, so I don't have to worry about it. So you basically do everything in reverse. So get your pin and seat that into the inflator. Probably about 2/3, 3/4. It is going to move around, so don't worry. I like to put a little bit of tension on it, just so so it's like a fixed position, because you need about 3 pairs of hands for this. Find that cable on the inside, pinch it and hold onto that corrugated hose so it doesn't retract back into itself, and you want to loop it over that bar, that little pin. So find it, loop it over, and you're good. Now you want to line up the pin with the hole on the other side. There's always going to be tension on it because that cable is now pulling on it, and you want to push it and sort of seat it into position. It's a little bit easier just with the pins. When it's got this screw thread, you kind of have to do 3 things at the same time, so it's better if you have a buddy with a second pair of hands, so that you can have one person just putting tension on that pin to line it up, and the person on the other side can screw it into position and seat it. So once it's in position, just make sure it's flush, nice and neat. It's not going to come out, and then just pop the hose or the inflator back into the hose. Now, the next part of not screwing something up so you have to undo your work, I've removed this just so it's a lot easier when I don't have an entire BCD on my desk. But when it is like back in position, make sure it's facing the right direction. At the moment, it can face whatever direction you prefer, and invariably it's going to have shifted since you've been doing work. Normally, you can line up the threads, this kind of flashing, sorry, so it's nice and straight. That's usually factory position. It could be different for your BCD, it could be different, but it's usually with like the inflate button inwards towards the center of your chest. So you've got something to grab hold of. If you prefer something different, by all means, go nuts. So then we're fitting our zip ties. Just make sure it's seated like all the way down, and then we're going to loop this around, try to get it all in the groove. Just make it nice and tight. Usually I use a pair of pliers or something. You can use the edge cutters and to try and grab hold of them and roll it a little bit, just to give it a little bit of tension on there. And then when you're happy, give it a snip. But that will have quite sharp edges. So that's why we have our sharp knife, just to cut that excess off. I know the old edges you've always cut away from yourself, but I find it easier. Make sure it's nice and smooth. There are no sharp corners or anything. And then go on to the second one. Try and do it the same way so it looks neat. Try and line them up as best you can. And again, give it a little twist with the side cutters just to put some tension on it. Cut it and slice off any sharp edges. And you are good to go. So it is a pretty simple procedure. You don't need much technical knowledge to replace an inflator. The most complicated tool you need is a side cutter. It's usually when your inflator gets caught between a cylinder and a hard place, they get cracked or something, and it's not something that you can repair. If you're replacing like for like, shouldn't take much time. If it is just that cable on the inside that's come a bit loose, if you get a lot of it's like a chest expander, you can pull on it like an accordion, then chances are that cable's just come loose at one end. Trying to work out which end is a bit of a gamble. You've got a 50-50 chance, but yeah, it is quite simple to replace it. If there are any other procedures that you're worried about and you just want me to show you how to do it, then by all means let me know down in the comments below. I'll be more than happy enough to run through them for you. Remember to check out our website and our magazine, and we also have the Go Diving Show coming up in March here in the UK. Visit godivingshow.com for more information and to buy your tickets. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.